play violin, viola, cello, saxophone, guitar, classical guitar, electric bass, and a little bit of recorder in there. I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else at the moment. Drums, thank you. Yes, drums, that too. Sure, it's different with every song, but usually I just kind of start by messing around on chords on the guitar, and sometimes I have an idea of a chord I want, and sometimes I just put my fingers down and, figure out what sounds really good. After I get something that I really like, then I sit down and I record it, and then from there start to structure it. I make a conscious effort to go to the place you'd least expect, and I sit and I try to find the chords that make sense to the overall song structure, but would not be the typical place that most songwriters, I think, would go. One of the major themes for this particular album was like the idea of home. And I grew up in a pretty unstable environment, and I never lived anywhere for longer than a year as a child. And the longest I've ever lived anywhere and felt stable and secure was 3 years, and then I moved up here to Vermont. And now that I'm here, I feel like this is finally a place where I can grow roots and feel stable and kind of build a life that won't change. And I feel like I really need that stability in my life. And at the same time, while in this stable environment, I feel like I'm still dealing with some of the emotional repercussions of growing up in an unstable and pretty unhealthy environment. And so the album itself, some of the songs just kind of became about those feelings of sadness while within the context of feeling happiness in this stable environment. So dealing with lingering sadness, but feeling completely happy where I am now. I also felt, as a woman, the whole song, the whole production world is usually typically dominated by male engineers, and I felt it was really important to, as a woman songwriter, to kind of navigate that world by myself. Because you look on albums and typically on so many albums that are from female songwriters, there's always a male's name somewhere in the credits, in the post-production work and the sound production work, and I just felt like it was really important that in today's patriarchal society that I contributed to my feelings of feminism by producing my album by myself, completely on my own, with just my name, with a female name on it. My Aunt Alice, she passed away in the summer of 2014 from cancer, and it was a really heartbreaking experience for my family. She had an email address, Moonbeam, and 17, it was in the email address, and my family would communicate through email almost every day. And so when she passed away, we started getting, the return emails from her email address, and it was really heartbreaking. So I wrote a song called Moonbeam about losing her, but about, being able to feel her in everyday life. And I wrote Hummingbirds too. She told my cousins before she passed away to look for her in hummingbirds, and it was really kind of cool. One day I was playing the song Moonbeam I'd written for her, and this hummingbird came right up to the window while I was playing it. It was amazing. It really just felt like a really poignant moment. Like, okay, I'm seeing her in hummingbirds. When I listen to music, I feel like the best music is music that makes me have a cathartic experience just right in the moment, where it immediately grabs my attention and makes me feel it in my soul. And I think it's every musician's dream to be able to do that with their music. But I hope that if people listen to it, they can hear the beauty of it and maybe relate their own personal experiences to mine, and use the sound to have a cathartic experience like I do with music.